Okay, what I'm working on today is a 2004 Nissan Sentra 1.8 liter engine. The problem is the check engine light has come on, and using a scanner it comes up with the code P0447. I went to AutoZone and picked up the new part. Basically it's the evap canister control valve. The solenoid is in the open position, so I'm going to replace that in the engine bay, and let's get started and we'll take it from there. The first thing I'm going to do is erase the code, so when we put the new part in, the computer will relearn the new part. Erase yes. And erase done. Okay, now we'll turn off the car, unplug the scanner, and I'm going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. Okay, I disconnected the negative battery terminal. Anytime you're doing any kind of electrical work on your engine, it's a good idea to do that, just so you don't create a short anywhere. This is the old part right here with the electrical harness. There's one bolt behind here that's holding it on, as well as these two hoses. This is the new part. A hose goes on each black piece, and then the harness gets plugged into this. So I'm going to use a 12mm wrench to get that bolt off behind here. There's not much room to work with on this car. Where they located the bolt is kind of ridiculous, but we'll take this off right now. Before you take that bolt out, that nut off completely, you want to loosen the clamps on each hose. Basically, you just get a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers or regular pliers, you just squeeze them together and slide it back this way. Slide back. And I'm going to do the same on the bottom one. Easier said than done with one hand, but you get the idea, I think. Oh, come on. Just like that, and then you slide it back. And then we're just going to remove these two hoses completely. Now what you want to do is remove this electrical harness. But remember, just remove your negative battery terminal off your battery. And with this harness, you basically just push down on the blue tab on the end, and then it slides off. Okay, now we're going to go and remove these two hoses. Okay, what I did with these hoses, I just have a small screwdriver, flathead, and I just used it just to gently pry the hose loose because it was stuck on there fairly well. So those are loose, so now we can remove them all the way. And then we're just going to take off that nut on the back here and get this whole thing out. What I'm doing now, I have a pair of needle nose pliers that's holding the nut because I didn't want to drop it down into the engine bay. So I have a decent grip on that, and well, I did have a decent grip. Well, and then I'm just turning the old piece. Oh boy, okay. I thought I lost the nut. It's almost off. There we go. Okay, that's the old part, and then there's the nut. Save that nut because you're going to need it to put on the new part. Then before you put the new part on, just compare the new part to the old part. Make sure they look the same. Two prongs on the inside on the new one. Two prongs on the old one. And it has the same area to screw the bolt on, or the nut, I'm sorry. So that looks good. Okay, sorry there's a bit of a glare from the sun, but I have the new part through the hole in the plate. Now what I'm going to do is take this nut and try to seat it, and then gently do it with my fingers, or my thumb anyway, and we'll tighten that as far as we can go. Switch into my pinky. Alright, that's fairly finger tight. What I did, I make sure your engine's cold if you're going to do this. I put a shopping bag down below here in case I did drop that nut. At least I'd be able to fish it out easier. But if you're going to do that, just make sure your engine's cold so you don't melt the plastic. Alright, now we're going to get the wrench and then tighten that nut down. Okay, we got that nut on as snug as I could, because like I said, there's not much room to work with on this car where they located this. Now we're going to take the bottom hose and put it back on, and then the top hose, and that just slides right on. We're going to use our pliers to get the clamps back on, and just leave the clamps in an angle that if you ever have to replace this again, it's easily accessible. Okay, now that's done, and now we can plug in our wiring harness. I like to use dielectric grease on any electrical connection, so I'm just going to put a dab on this connection. So let me do that now. This is the dielectric grease. You just need a dab. Not much, just a dab. And then we are just going to put it right on where the connection meets. It's just a little bit. This helps repel water, and it also helps with the continuity of the electrical connection. So then you just want to plug this harness back in until it clicks. And then what we're going to do is reconnect our battery, our negative battery terminal. Okay. Negative battery terminal is hooked up again. And that's basically it. It didn't take long. It's not a long repair. Something that you might want to do, which is what I normally do, is go to a trip counter on your odometer, and it's already set to 0 on mine, but set it to 0, and if your light doesn't come back on within 75 miles of just normal driving, then you should be good to go. I hope this video helped you. And something just to keep in mind, I paid $119 for this part at AutoZone. If you go to a shop, you're going to wind up paying 3 times that amount just for the part. So 3 times 120 is $360 for the part, plus the labor to install it. That's probably at least another $100 they'll charge you, so you're talking $460. And I did this for $120, so saved about $340, $350 doing it myself. It's not a hard repair. Give it a try. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day.